This morning, it's my pleasure to introduce to you the founder of Moms for Literacy, Amber Gonzalez, and also a volunteer with them, Cherome Williams. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Women in Suits, just before this interview, we got into a very interesting conversation when I said to you, I'd rather be home in an apron as opposed to spending most of my time at the workplace. And you looked at me very startled. What are your thoughts on that statement?
My thoughts are that very many women would like to do that. It has become extremely difficult for women to carry the job 8 hours and to go back home and to nurture our children. We are seeing a great breakdown in our family systems. And at Moms for Literacy, we see that some of that is caused by the mother, the nurturer, being absent and not having the free time to be able to work with our children and to nurture our husbands when they come from work. So what happens? You come home to a tired wife, the children come home to a tired mother. That's not working well for us.
And sometimes they don't even come home to the mother,
Right.
because the mother isn't even at home as yet.
It's not working well for society because we need the love, we need the attention, we need to be able to build ourselves through the feminine energy.
Yeah.
And I think we are missing that. In my own experience, my mother was a stay-at-home mom. However, I found that she didn't have the kind of information I needed as a teenager. I started to read a lot. My father had a little study with books. So I gravitated to the books for the information that I needed. So in forming, and then after I started to work, when I had my daughter, when she was 10 months old, I was home for about 4 months, went back out to work, and when she was 10 months old, I found that the kind of mothering and the quality of mothering in my head was not matching what was happening at home. And I made the decision to leave the job. When I was leaving the job, I remember the staff at Citibank telling me, you can't stay home because my energy was so high and so involved.
Yes.
I didn't see it at the time, but I stayed home, absolutely enjoyed her until she was 2.5 years old and she went off to work. And then I felt lost. Like, so what do I do now?
Yeah.
She went off to school, sorry. What do I do now? And coming out of that, I started to look at Dateline, Alison,
Yes.
and see what was happening in education. I needed to educate this child. I didn't know what to do. So I was listening to things, getting involved, going to seminars, going to workshops, including training from the Ministry of Education to teach adults to read. And out of that, my passion was birthed, right? And out of that, very casually, working with other mothers, because we had a group of parents, and we used to look after the children, like who was working, we were home, 2 of us were home, so we would drop the children off, pick them up, carry them home, do home lesson with our group. And out of that, we saw that very many television stations were coming on, and the children would read less. And because of my passion for reading and the amount of information I got from it, I decided, let's do something.
Yeah. So even for stay-at-home moms,
you can
it is
find a way.
important to educate yourself.
Most certainly.
So let's talk about that particular issue. But before I do so, I'd like to welcome into the conversation Ms. Williams. So you're a volunteer at Moms for Literacy. How long have you been involved?
I have been involved for 5 years. I started in January 2013. I started as a small initiative to help me get into university. So it was just as something that was supposed to be for a couple of months, but being in there and learning all the things that I learned, getting involved with the kids, I just got attached and I had to stay and I grew with them.
Yeah. So even with the adults, what was your experience?
With the adults, I have not had much experience teaching adults, but I have been interacting with the parents of the kids that I'm around.
Yes.
Knowing that the parents are looking for someone to help their child, even if it's assistance to them personally. You just need someone to talk to, express their emotions, and to help them guide them where they need to be. That is something that I find very valuable to them.
Okay. So let's get back to that topic that we raised. Educating mothers. Even if they are stay-at-home moms, their independence is important, would you say?
Most certainly, most certainly. And now with the internet and everything, you can be so much of that. And there are so many things you can find to do. I am very much promoting finding your passion, right? But you have to understand that your family comes first, because that's the contract of nurturing the family. But within that, there are so many things that you can do from home. You can get involved part-time, because we have people who come part-time, they have children, so they could leave at 2 o'clock, they go pick up their kids and all of that, but you work with us part-time. And empowering the girls and empowering mothers, you empower the family, you empower a nation. You understand? So it's most important. We are saying, mothers, even though you are at home, there's YouTube. While I'm at home, sometimes cooking, I'm listening to YouTube all Sunday, getting the information, because that is what is going to help to empower you, for you to understand what you need to do with your children, for your family, your personal relationship, right? People have a hard time with relationships again. All of that is the growth that can happen But when you are at work, you don't have the time to give an attention to give to that kind of personal growth, the growth of your family, the growth of your children. We are not saying that everybody needs to be home.
Yeah.
But most certainly, you need to find out, is that what you really want to do? There's always a way. There's absolutely always a way to find. And when we work with our mothers, because a lot of times they're broken. There's a lot, especially single mothers.
They're exhausted.
Yes. They're tired all the time. You know, and now you have to choose, could I have a family or a career? It's no longer, I can have both. You understand? Because it's so demanding. So we need to go within ourselves. We need to find what we really, really want to do and follow your heart. And doors will be open for you to find that passion.
Are all women really moving forward in terms of advancing themselves as it pertains to education?
I want to say some of them, very many, but we still have very many who are still not aware enough to take the opportunities that are being given. The opportunities are, tremendous. It's there. Anything you want to find out, you can find out. Any direction you want to go in, you can. But a lot of people are not aware of it. And sometimes we take it for granted that because the information is there, somebody knows. That's not true. Parents coming to us. I remember once saying to one parent in an abusive situation, you don't have to take that. And it was like something opened for her. She never realized she don't have to take it. You understand? So things like that. And that, again, is the information, you know, that you have to empower you, keep involved in the society, go to workshops, you know, get involved. The volunteering, right? You can create your own hours. You know, 2 hours a day will make a difference.
Most times we're hearing in society a lot of domestic abuse, violence, and that sort of thing. And many times when we interview the victims, they say, well, they couldn't leave because they didn't have a job to go to. Who would take care of the kids? Do you see this as an avenue, perhaps, to helping our women become more independent?
Yes, it is. Any little step that will take you one step out, right? Because everything begins with one step at a time. And once you make the first move, doors begin to open. And that's what it is. Sometimes people are scared to make the first move. But there's so much of the internal development and your awareness of self is crucial in what needs to happen for you as a human and your life that you have to expand and create, and the life of your family and your children.
Making informed decisions.
And making informed decisions.
As well,
yes.
even as it pertains to you, your rights and that sort of thing.
Yes.
And I'd like to find out from you some of the workshops that you've had. Yes. Recently.
We have an attitudinal change intervention program for young people, teenagers who are not doing well at school, which we encourage parents to send them to. We have a help desk. So with the help desk, parents can come in and have a counseling session and get a sense of direction, what they need to do with any kind of thing, be it education. If we can't answer the questions ourselves, we can point them to where they can go to find the information. That's most important for us. We are in the libraries. This year we are going to public libraries. The next one will be in April, right? We are going to just get the information out and to let parents understand the importance of using the technology for positives and not just for entertainment for the children.
Yes.
You know, let the children learn from it. There's so much to learn. Yeah. I remember in my time, every time I needed to get some information, I had to go to these encyclopedias, choose A, B, C, D, E, and look, now you just Google. You know?
All right, and Cherome, closing comments. What would you like to say to those looking on who perhaps would want to, or probably thinking about becoming a volunteer?
I think that becoming a volunteer is a great thing. It gives you something to be proud of. It's not just volunteering for the kids. You learn a lot about yourself too while volunteering, and Moms is a good place to empower yourself. Seeing that it is International Women's Day, empowering yourself is important, as you were talking about. If you're not aware of yourself, then it would be difficult to be aware of other people. So I think that is a good thing for people to come and take from Moms for Literacy.
Yes, such a pleasure chatting with you both.
Thank you.
Thank you for
All right, so we've been chatting with the founder of Moms for Literacy and also volunteer Cherome Williams.